Nah. Nah, we don't like it. I will see. I think it looks cool. Thanks so much, Viking, for the 9 months, dude. We are gonna look over the Manifesto. I'm gonna turn off alerts. I have not read this. And then after we're gonna look at these the manifestos now, and then we're gonna explore No Man's Sky a bit together after. Obviously there's not much to do on PoE. Markup, nah. They looked really short. I'll see. Anyway. Trap, throw time, multi-trap, cluster trap, and minefield. Traps, and to a much lesser extent mines on a certain skill, were more powerful than we were comfortable with, and validating other ways of using many skills. We increased the throw time on traps and the damage penalty on multi-trap and minefield, while lowering the number of traps by... Doesn't that mean cluster trap and multi-trap have the same? What's the point in cluster trap then? We'll be increasing the damage of trap skills and mine skills, the lightning trap and fire node to compensate for this loss. But not art. It's weird. Instant skills. We've changed what it meant to be instant to mean the skill can be used while performing other actions. They can't be used while you're unable to take any action, like when you're stunned or frozen. We made a large number of effects instant, mostly buff effects. Most of these are restoration effects to make applying our auras and arrows faster, but we've also applied this to Molten Shell, Phase Front, Blood Rage, Convocation, and Righteous Fire. That means, unless they're changing something, that is actually a huge buff for a lot of builds. I want to go over and explain that real quick because that's actually going to be really useful for a lot of people. So, if you look at the Capture Arachnoxia Ascendancy, 50% increased recovery rate if you stop taking damage over time, recasting Blood Rage will proc that. Before, we still did that in boss fights, but then you had to cast it. Now you literally just like get into the habit of like clicking T while you're doing a boss, for example, if you have Blood Rage on T. And you get a 50% increased life leech, regen, stuff like that. So that's pretty big. Most of these have been able to, other than adding a short cooldown, only Molten Shell was increased in mana cost at lower levels. We'll be monitoring these skills and being mindful of adding future instant kills, so they need to be well timed rather than using them every time they're off cooldown. It's E. Spell block. We've changed how spell block is gained, so it's only available from flat sources of spell block. All the existing sources of attack block to spell block conversion have been changed to a flat source of spell block, and we've been added spell block to more. The Gladiator passive skill now uses your attack block as your spell block. To replace it, or this change was made particularly to remove some restrictions that impact the design, but also let spell block be something all characters can have access to rather than being very powerful for very high block characters and weaker for characters that haven't heavily invested in it. Movement skills are a core part of the gameplay in Path of Exile, both for survival and efficiency. We've tried to reduce some of the disparity between different movement skills. Did I find me buffing Flame Dash? I think it's just a shield charge there. I feel like I'm going to be sad. So builds have different choices on how to approach their mobility. This is just a first step. We intend to make further changes incrementally over the time without destroying the feeling of mastery that their speed grants. Shield charge. The movement portion of shield charge is no longer affected by local weapon speed on weapons. The total weapon attack time will still affect the build up, but your travel time will only be affected by movement speed and global attack speed. This makes using certain weapons called Bright Beak. Fuck you! Alright? How could you do this? Bright Beak did nothing wrong! Oh my god! Flattening the playing field when goes to... It's probably for the best. Honestly, it's probably for the best. I'm actually really happy. I'm actually really happy because I felt forced to use a Bright Beak. And now... I mean, so like even 20, yeah, prismatic eclipse will be really powerful. I'm confused. Oh, and that other weapon I was using, but I'm confused. So if I get a 27% attack speed dagger, that won't do anything now then. Yeah, Wild Slash. Now, Fidelity Spike won't do anything. Fidelity Spike won't work, it's the same as Bright Peak. It'll be Wild Slash and Prismatic Eclipse Gucci. Anyway, we'll look into that. Flame Dash and Lightning Warp. Flame Dash and Lightning Warp are the two primary caster-based rival skills, and they've fallen behind the effectiveness of Leaf Slam, Shield Charge, and Whirling Blades. We're shortening the cooldown on Flame Dash, lowering its cast time slightly, and increasing the range it can travel to be consistent with other skills. That sounds amazing. It also gains cooldown recovery rate as the gem levels. I've been suggesting that for 2.5 years! Lightning Warp now has a shorter cast time and starts with 20% reduced. Skill doesn't feel as bad when used at lower levels. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's amazing! Sunder. Sunder is a very powerful leveling tool that provides a strong damage and great cloud clearing from a safe distance. We've left the damage intact, but we'll lower the length of rectangular damage area by 20%. Sorry, Sunder boy. Nice. Good. I don't like Sunder. Kinetic Blast has had some mechanical quirks that made it very powerful at area clearing and situational powerful in some boss encounters. 10% less damage. We've also changed how the area are placed. They can now be placed in slices around the central impact so they can't overlap. Against walls, Sim won't be able to spawn at all. KB dead? Is it finally over? Is it finally over? Gone? That's so awesome! Like fuck! While some gain prevention time, and thank you Graphos, I appreciate it dude. Okay, I'm gonna hope that when I get further down here, that Tornado Shot, Lightning Arrow, all the projectiles are nerfed to be like this long. But anyway, nerf, please destroy projectiles, not just KB. Val Soul gain prevention time. We now changed all Val skills that are affected by its duration and modifiers to have their soul prevention time also affected by a duration modifier. It means that when increasing the duration of Val Haste, you're also increasing the soul prevention time! This keeps certain skills that could get very long duration from a recharge during prevention time. Why'd you do that? Val Righteous Fire. Val Righteous Fire now takes the combined life and energy shield to better support low life characters. It's a buff! Earthquake and Val Earthquake. The aftershock damage is now consistent, the same value it has at level 20. Better while leveling, or you've had opportunities to invest in it. Nice. Physical projectile attack damage support. The physical has been renamed Vicious Projectile Support, increasing its readability. It now grants more chaos and more physical to support it instead of poison and bleed. Oh, so Caustic Arrow. Nice. Passive tree. We've adjusted a large number of minion passives, added new starting minion passives, as well as reworked the minion cluster near the Templar area. These include effects that let increases of directions. The minion damage also apply to you, and the same for minion attack speed. We've also included a number of minion accurate. Excuse me? Does that mean that they just viciously... Hold on. Did they just viciously delete the Scourge? Goodbye. Goodbye, Scourge. You're dead. Forehead. You're dead. The Templar starting area. Bonuses to pathing. A better enable. Cool. The Witch starting area now has a minion path, replacing its existing mana and... Ooh. That sounds amazing. The mana skills have been moved to a path alongside the Vienna Shield path, with a new mana notable. Ooh, that sounds amazing too. The Guardian no longer has a notable that affects Warcries. We've taken those bonuses and placed them on the passive tree. One cluster between Templar and Marauder grants you allies and attack speed. Oh. Other cluster. Honestly cool then. Good as there's 2 new notables. Firing the Herald of Purity. Pathfinder now has a 4 skill pass, replacing its previous 2 poison. More potent poison bonuses, chaos attack damage bonus, and a bonus to Herald of Agony. It's intended to work well alongside the new chaos, bow skills, as well as any poison attack character. I feel like there should be more to this manifesto. I'm kind of upset. Bow passives now affect damage over time. As for caustic arrow, secondary damage, corpse explosion, explosive arrow can now be blocked or dodged. Awesome. Block or dodge type. Wow, that's actually awesome. Frost bomb, in addition to reducing life regen, also reduces energy shield regen. Oh, wow. Up. So, aren't we just gonna play bow still though? I don't get it. Like, tornado shot enchant on a like 2-socket abyss helmet is gonna be literally 110 to 100 and 200, 300x. Like, actual good helmets with +2 tornado shot is gonna be actually 200-300x. Melee hits better than TS, just for damage, not for clear. Tornado shot clear is way better, especially with Headhunter. Are you high? Especially with Headhunter, TS is way better than LA hit. Still only have 5 projectiles with LA hit. We're not trying to clear it if we're pushing delves, right? We're not. Nobody's going to be pushing delves with bow builds. I'm talking about map clearing. People are going to be pushing delves with Poet's Pen. People are going to be pushing delves with, like Indigon builds, with Zorfis builds, with Pathfinders mostly. That's going to be what's pushing the deep delves. Everything else is going to be hard capped, like really early. Even RF and stuff won't go that deep. Pathfinders are going to be like the king of delve. Hey, Alice. RF, I'm sure, will be decent. It'll be really comfortable. RF will probably be really good at farming whatever we find to be the optimal delve levels. I would say I'm 90% sure I don't think it will be properly rewarded to go deep. I think people will end up being at like a level 85 to like, or like, let's say that like delve depth 600 is level 85. Then I think people will be around level 600 to 700. I don't see, like say Krogan is farming that and doing really well. I don't think Dan is gonna be at level like 6,000 and everyone's like, oh my god, he killed the monster and it dropped 13 exalts and an amazing rare. I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, no matter how deep you go, I don't think you're gonna be adequately rewarded for it. There's gonna be some level, there's gonna be like some certain level you're gonna get to, and that's where you stay, and it's fucking pointless to go deeper. If I'm wrong, I would really like to be wrong, by the way. I would be like fucking worshipping away if I'm wrong. If it's like, oh my god. This build, by the way, guys, this like Viper Strike build I made, it's delve level 2000 viable. Go farm, my friends. Like, that would be amazing. The only reward you get by going deeper is the difficulty, some people say. Yeah, and I will love that. I will love that. But for farming months, I think we're gonna be stuck at a certain level. Vectors on delve? No. Spectres will probably be decent for like early delves. Spectres are not gonna be stuff that goes deep into the delves. The only people that think Spectres are gonna go deep into delves are people who have like English as a second language and their like English reading skills aren't like fully comprehensive. Because it is a little confusing with the patch notes or like what they've said, saying like that they will scale with the delve, but they've also said specifically that the Spectres will not like scale past what we currently have. Right? When that's what a lot of people are getting confused by. A lot of people think you're going to be able to get like level 100 specters and stuff, which they've confirmed that you won't. And that is pretty confusing. So they did word that slightly weird. Yeah, no, bro. I think that's really cool too. And just saying, I would love to be wrong, and I would love that it's like really worth going really deep. Yeah, exactly what I mean. Manifesto is done. Nice. Yeah, Vero.